Hi guys, welcome. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first video guys, thank you so much for coming to this channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Before you leave here guys, please remember to hit that subscribe button, smash that like button guys, and drop a comment. Really helps out the channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much for the love. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this community. Now guys, you know what you get here guys, you get premium Canadian content, all from my own experience, of course. As I said in many videos before, I am no consultant, no immigration consultant, no affiliate, nothing of the sort. But what you get here is just unfiltered real life experience of a Jamaican who migrated to Canada as an international student. So I try to share my experience as authentic as possible. Yeah, you understand guys? So if that is something that you guys are interested in, of course, be a part of the community, join the community, subscribe to the channel. Right now, with that being said guys, what am I going to be talking about today? Now, for those of you guys who have been a part of the community for a while, you guys would have known the story a bit. You guys would have, know the journey a little bit. Or would start it to how it's going right now. But let me just do a quick recap for all the persons who are clicking on this video for the first time, just so that they know who they're talking to. And then the topic of this video will definitely make more sense to them, right? So first and foremost guys, I am a Jamaican who migrated to Canada in 2019 as an international student. I came to Canada with my wife and my one daughter at the time. My wife had an open work permit which allowed her to work full-time. Give thanks for Nuts, by the way, who juggled numerous jobs while I was in school just to be able for us to can survive, keep our head above the water, and be able to afford the momentous school fee that we had to pay. With that being said, we shared a part of our journey that says that when we came, things wasn't always rosy. We left Jamaica with pretty much the exact amount of money that was needed. We had no surplus. We didn't have any leverage. We didn't really have anything to wrap back on. So we legit had to hit the ground running immediately. So that was how the journey started, guys. Now, fast forward a couple years in the future, we have celebrated our 3 years in Canada anniversary a couple months ago in September. And now we are officially in the 4th year of being in Canada, meaning more than 3 years, going into our 4 years of being in Canada. And over the time being in Canada, a lot has changed. We have gotten another daughter, fully Canadian, born in Canada. Nats has graduated from doing her janitor jobs and cleaning jobs to now working a good job that she likes. At first, it wasn't that wasn't the case. She had to take a lot of step back. She had to make a lot of sacrifice for us to grow, to develop as a family, to where we are at right now. Myself, I was only allowed to work 20 hours while school was in session, because of course as an international student that was part of the regulation, that was a part of the stipulation as it relates to international students in Canada. We're only allotted 20 hours per week while school is in session. That's gonna be changed now, but that's not what this video is about. Now, while in school, I was fortunate enough to get a job as a bank teller, part-time basis while I was in school. That was the foot that I needed in the door. Now guys, just a quick background again. I've never worked in banking in Canada, and I've worked in the financial industry in Jamaica, but not necessarily in a bank, right? I was a credit officer, I was a loan officer. I did a few business development jobs, stuff like that, for different businesses, some microfinance businesses and stuff like that. I worked at an insurance company for a number of years as well in Jamaica, but in terms of an actual bank, I never really worked in a bank in Jamaica before. No, I came to Canada, which neither did I have any banking experience, but I'd never really have any Canadian work experience. So that was how it started. Now what this video is about, guys, I'm gonna tell you guys like how I managed to leave from an international student to now being a manager in a bank, just a little over 3 years after landing, right? Now, many of you guys who follow us, many of you guys who support the channel, who has been a part of the journey, these are questions that you guys always ask, right? But I've never really taken the time to sit down and go through in detail as best as possible how I did it. And in sharing how I did it, my intention is to make you guys know that not only that it's possible, but hopefully kind of give you guys a roadmap or you can do it too, right? The best way to know a road you've never traveled before is to ask somebody who has traveled the road, right? That's what I've learned and that's what I'm attempting to do. Now, hopefully, as a video, I don't want to make the video too long, but hopefully I get to talk a little bit about the interview processes, right? So if you're new to Canada, if you're just coming to Canada, if you want a job in Canada and you want an idea of what the interview process is like, hopefully I get to share some of that in this video as well. Now, if you're this far in the video, we're now in the 5-minute mark. If you're this far in the video, guys, and you haven't liked the video as yet, I'm just gonna ask you guys just to take a second just to hit that like button. Really helps out the video, really helps out the channel. And also, guys, if you have made it this far and you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, guys, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. All right, drop a comment as well, guys. Drop a comment. Now let's get into it. Now, when I just came to Canada, guys, it was just me, my wife, and my daughter. We had to figure out everything. We had to figure out everything, right? We didn't have anybody who was there to guide us, to show us the ropes, and to even point us in the right direction. So we had to figure out everything. Now, I was blessed and fortunate to get a job as a business development specialist, right? Not in a bank. So the first job I got in Canada was actually as a business development specialist with a non-profit organization. Very good job. Extremely good job. I love that job. But the thing is, that job was very demanding. So it was very challenging for me to do that job while being a student, because of course at the time being an international student was priority, right? Being a student, graduating school, finishing well, moving on in my immigration journey, that's priority. So I decided that, you know what, that job is not the best fit at the time, because what happened is when I left work I had meetings and stuff that I had to be going to and stuff even afterwards, and then it was interfering with class, it was interfering with assignments and studying and stuff like that, so it just wasn't the right time. So I decided that yes, I would have to give up that job for something more stable. Now at the time I was looking around and I'm like, what kind of job I need? And I was looking for a job that, okay, then when I reach work, I work, and then when I finish work, that's it until tomorrow, right? I was looking for a job that didn't follow me home. And then I started looking on Indeed.ca and I started seeing telejobs. So I'm like, yeah, this actually would make sense. You know? The reason why this would make sense is because it's not demanding. It gives me an opportunity to learn about the financial industry in Canada, and ultimately, it it wasn't a dream of mine to become a teller, no, but I felt like it was the right opportunity, so I started looking for teller jobs. Now, I started looking for teller jobs, guys. As I said, I was on Indeed.ca, but that wasn't really working out. There are a number of banks in Grand Prairie. By the way, if you guys are watching this video, that's where I'm located. I'm located in Grand Prairie, Alberta. There are a number of banks here in Grand Prairie, so I decided that I wanted to just go into some of these banks. I started just walking in randomly. No, bear in mind that I was an international student, not really qualified, not qualified for a teller job in my opinion, because of course I was using the Jamaican scale of measuring what a teller job should look like. But luckily I found out that all you need to be a teller in Canada, in most cases, is an high school diploma. Now, an high school diploma can definitely get you a teller job. So I was like, whoa, that's amazing. So I'm like, high school diploma, check, right? So I started looking specifically now for a teller job. So I started walking into these banks and, drop off some resumes and be like, yo, if there's any opening, I'm interested, new to Canada. And, you just try to leave an impression. So I dropped off so many resumes, and now I'm talking about probably being in Canada at that point probably for 3 months, right? Landed in September, got my first teller job the beginning of December. So going to these different businesses, banks, dropping off resumes and stuff. Then I saw a position as a part-time as a part-time teller specifically. So I'm like, yo, this must be fate. This must be fate. So I applied for it. Of course, guys, when applying for it, I did in the back of my mind that I wasn't really qualified in working in a bank per se. Neither have I had like significant working experience in Canada. So I applied for the job, and then I don't know, but I just felt doubtful that I wasn't gonna get it. But then I got called in for the interview, and if anybody know them, that's all I need, just a shot, right? All I need is just an opportunity to talk to somebody, and I can sell myself. I'm very good in selling myself, so I'm like, interview, shillings. Remember, we're not there for play games, guys. We're not there for skirt around the bush, One shot we get. So I started doing some research online about different interviews, strategies, different techniques, and just different ways to answer questions. And everything makes sense in the end, because looking back to even the position that I am in right now, where I get to interview persons for jobs, especially like teller jobs and stuff like that, I believe that experience taught me a lot that I can use even right now in my career to where I'm at right now. So I went to the interview, and I was interviewed by two ladies. I won't call their name, but we're really good friends even up to today. Even though I'm even no longer at that bank, we're even still friends. I was interviewed, and of course, it went well. I knew it went well. It went really well, guys. Now, what I didn't say at the start of the video is this shirt that I'm wearing right now, guys. This is the very same shirt I wore to that interview, and I specifically put it on just to show you guys, right? As a matter of fact, this is the shirt I wore to the two interviews I've been to, in my first year in Canada, right? This same shirt, you know. Them's put on a little weight still, but yeah, it still fit, right? This is the same shirt I wore to that interview. And if my friends who are watching this video who interviewed me for that teller position, like the video, because if you can remember good, you remember that this is the same shirt that I wore. Now, with that being said, guys, I went into the interview prepared. I went in there, I did my research about the company. Very important. You want to make sure that when you're going on an interview for a company here, I find that when you do your background check about the company, is very important. When you can tell them something that drawn you to apply for the position, and how that position is going to benefit you, and how you are going to benefit them, I found that to be like very important. So I did my research, guys, and I pretty much laid all my cards on the table. I let them know exactly why I was applying for the job. The fact that, my present job at the time was interfering with school. I'm here on a student visa. Yeah, and that's why I wanted a little bit more stability and something more structured. So I got the job, to say the least. Obviously, I got the job, as I'm here sitting to you guys, talking to you guys about it right now. It took like probably 2 weeks, right? Now, getting a bank job, guys, as I said, all you need is a high school diploma to get a teller job, but that's in Grand Prairie, Alberta. I'm pretty certain that all provinces has their own different mitigation rules and regulation that they use to judge and determine qualifications for different jobs. But for in Grand Prairie, all you need is an high school diploma in most cases to become a teller. Now, what that job gave me, guys, was a foot in the door. Now, remember now, guys, new 3 months in Canada at the time, school responsibilities, never worked in a bank before. I had to learn all the banking system that was at that present bank. Like I went through like 2 weeks of training. And then in addition to that, I just tried to do my own research and my own, like, in other words, I took initiative. I took initiative and took my learning as my responsibility. So I wasn't just looking at the present job that I had at the time. I was looking more on the end result. To grow up the ladder to obviously get a successful career in banking. that's what I was looking at even at that time, getting my foot in the door, right? So I got that job, and I did that job throughout all my schooling. I did it part time. I did it part time because of course, I was only able to work 20 hours. But as soon as I was able to work full time, I was offered a full time position. I was offered a full time position because I believe that I proved myself. I proved my value. Because ultimately, as I said, I only got one shot. So even getting that job at that point in time, I was already looking at the fact that, okay, then when I finish school, I'm gonna have to apply for a postgrad work permit. In order to do that, I need a job in a specific knock code for my family to be able to stay in Canada. I started looking at all of those stuff even from that point in time. Even just landing, I started looking at that. So obviously, I started putting out, like, I excelled, right? Um, One of the things that I try to do in any office that I'm in is to learn more than your job description. And that is something that you guys will find that will help you a lot, especially here in Canada. Learn more than what you're employed to do. Try to learn at least one or two other person's job. Learn their role, right? So even if they're not at work, you can cover and then you prove your worth. So I try to do that, right? Now, that was a very good company to work with. That was a very good bank, and I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful for that bank because what that bank gave me was an opportunity, right? An opportunity to get a foot in the door, right? That was instrumental to my studies, even as my course schedule changed throughout the semesters. My managers, my bosses, everyone above me, pretty much flex my work schedule to match my school schedule, and that's not something that you can get everywhere. So that was pretty much very, very important to me at the time. At the time of not working two jobs, I had to be taking us at work 5:30 in the morning, dropping off Malika at school, picking up Malika at school, picking up Nas from work, taking her to another work, doing this, doing that, all sort of stuff. So having that flexibility with that job was very vital to me surviving pretty much at that point in time. Now, as I said, I got a full-time position as soon as I graduated, as soon as I finished school and I applied for the work permit. Now, what you guys need to know is that once you get your letter of completion from your college, right, you are no longer on a study permit. Your study permit is still valid, but you're no longer a student because you are done with school. So with that being said, you cannot work until you have applied for your postgrad work permit. Now, that was something that I learned along the way. I didn't know that before, right? So once you get your letter of completion from the college, you have to stop working immediately, right? If IRCC finds they still are working, then a problem. So I got my letter of completion and then I applied for my postgrad work permit the next day. So there wasn't a break in employment, and then my full-time contract started the day I applied for my postgrad work permit. Now my bosses and managers was very, 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 very understanding to my situation, and whatever guidance, whatever break, whatever time off I needed, I was able to get it. Now what that taught me was banking, right? I realized that, yeah, I can do this, right? I can do this. And then I was doing it and doing it and doing it and excelling in it. So I started to just learn more about banking over the time being here in Canada. So of course, living in a small town, um, everything travels through the grapevine, right? Now, if you have an outstanding employee, or if you are in banking specifically, I can talk about that field. If you're in banking specifically in a small town like Grand Prairie, and you're excelling at your job, your name is being traveled, is being carried into other rooms that you are not even in, right? I didn't even know that. So in other words, you have what they call ed hunters, which is really just job recruiters, starting seeing you, starting hearing about you. So as soon as a position become available that they believe that you're a good fit for, then they'll often reach out to you. That's how it works here. Now, I remember, um, applying for the manager position that I'm in right now. And let's just fast forward the story a little bit, guys. So how did I leave from that job to becoming a manager? Now, as I said before, I love that company. I love that bank. And in the future, who knows? I might go back to that bank. That bank gave me the opportunity to be where I'm at right now. And that bank is very understanding and just have a very good work balance, right? Now, I finished school, right? I worked there for probably almost a year after finishing school full time. But then I wanted other opportunities because, of course, brand loyalty is very important, but we're there for one reason, and that one reason is for hustle, make some money, make our life, transform our life, grow as quickly as possible, grow as stable as possible, and put yourself in a better position. Because remember, we're working towards becoming permanent residents, we're working towards being a citizen, and all of these things. So we can't afford, we don't have enough time that a person who is a non-immigrant might have, in terms that they can probably stay in that same position for longer. We don't have that. We have to try and get up the success ladder as quickly as possible because of our PR goals, and also because of the reason why we left our country to come here is not to come on Skylark, right? So I was in the same position for almost a year, and I felt that it was time to grow. And I started looking internally. I started, having one-on-one conversation with my branch managers, and just like if any opportunity is coming up, and then there was just none at the time. Because as I said, it's a really good bank, so persons they don't really have a high staff turnover. Unfortunately, in my case, so I started looking in other institutions, in other banks. And then I remember seeing the manager position that I'm in right now, and I applied for it. And even applying for it, guys, to be honest, I had, like, at this time, I had like 2.5 years of banking experience. I graduated college, so I had now have my diploma in business admin, coupled with my experience back in Jamaica. So I'm now in a better position. So even so, applying for a manager position, I was still a little bit hesitant because I'm like, am I ready? Am I not ready? Should I do it? Should I not do it? But anyways, I decided at the time, you don't know until you know. So the timing was right. I did it and I applied, and then I got called for an interview. So it was a number of different interviews actually. The first interview, I went on the phone. I was talking to the what do you call them, recruiter. Before you even talk to the branch manager and the persons who are actually going to be hiring you, you have to pass the recruiter. So I was talking to the recruiter, and it was a telephone interview. Pretty much the same procedure as the first interview. Just do your research on the company. Have good questions. Be calm. Be relaxed. Show your strengths. Though just be relaxed. I did that, and then the conversation ended. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get called for a second interview, so I was still doing my other bank job, still going through. Nobody knew about it at the time, just me and Nats. We got through it. We're doing thing, and then I got called for a second interview. I got called for a second interview. Now that interview was actually with the branch manager at the time, and the assistant branch manager at the time. So I'm like, yeah, at it. We get a second interview now. No, bear in mind, guys. No, this is for a manager position, right? This is not for a supervisor position or a mid manager position. This is for a manager position. So no, like, I don't know, but I was just so doubtful, and I'm talking to Nats about it, and I'm like, I've never been in this position before, because in Jamaica I would never even thought that I could apply for a manager position in a bank, let alone I couldn't even get a teller job in Jamaica, let alone apply for a manager position. So it was a little bit intimidating, to be honest. So same procedure. I tried to be relaxed. It wasn't an in-person interview. It was like a video interview, like a Teams interview. So that made me feel a little bit more relaxed. So I went to the interview and I did my best, as I did with all other interviews. Now, what I didn't know at the time was that they have already decided to hire me. So, I'm there selling myself, doing my thing, going through, and then, interview finish. When I have a clue what I'm going to get, them say, okay, then I'll just reach out to you if you get the position. You get the standard. We have a couple more candidates to interview. We'll let you know either way. Even after the second interview, guys, I kind of get it off of my mind because I'm like, yeah, I'm not qualified enough for this position. Anyway, it was a stretch even getting called for a second interview. I now got the experience, and yeah, just take that and, and go with the flow. So I did that, guys, and I was just there relaxing. And even in doing that, I'm still looking for other opportunities because remember now, I was on a growth trajectory, which I'm still on, by the way. But yeah, this is not about now. This is about what happened then. Yeah, growth trajectory. So I'm still looking for opportunities both internally at the bank that I'm at and externally. So I was being very aggressive in finding something else. Then I remember one day I was at work, and then I saw the number because the thing where you see the name come up on your phone of the person who owned the number, and I saw the name of the bank come up. So I couldn't answer it at the time because I think I was serving some clients. So I ended up missing the call. And then probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes after I saw the number calling again. But now I was in a meeting, so I couldn't answer the call. So in my mind, I'm like, probably I'm just a call to tell me, say, yeah, you did a good interview, but unfortunately, we had selected another candidate. Honestly, guys, that's what I was expecting. That's what I was expecting. But I got home, I listened to the voice message. The voice message said that I should call them back. So I called the person who called back, and then it was actually the recruiter, the person who did the first interview. Hopefully you guys are following the story. Hopefully I don't last anybody in the back falling asleep yet. So she answered the phone and she's like, hey, Damar, how are you? I was trying to call you all day. And I'm like, yeah, sorry, I was at work. And she's like, yeah, you know what? We're really excited about this news. I'm happy to tell you that you've been selected for the position. Mr. What you say? She said, yeah, I'm happy to tell you that you're selected for the position and you're our best candidate and stuff like that. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was really, really, really shocked. I did not thought that I would have gotten that opportunity so soon in my career, pretty much, and so soon in my Canada journey. Because even though when I talk to people and I tell them like what I do for work and stuff, and they hear how soon I've been in Canada, they're like really, really shocked. But anyways, I got the job, and that's the job I'm doing right now. Now, how did I get the job, guys? Everything that I said, I think it comes down back to this: having a determination and a vision for what you want, right? Now, there are times when visions change. Different circumstances might cause it to change. But ultimately, what I find, even from the first teller job that I got, as I told you guys, I decided that the job that I was doing was becoming a little bit strenuous to balance that plus school. So I had to leave that to get the teller job. And then after doing the teller job, as soon as I finished school, I put things in place in motion. I excelled at it to make sure that when I finished school, I was promoted to a full-time position. And then I got that. And then in doing that, I still wasn't comfortable, guys. I believe that, okay, then there's more potential, there's more growth to be had, and then I'm here where I'm at right now. And of course, guys, I'm going to be moving on in the future. There's no doubt about it. But the point of the matter is determination, hard work, and ambition was what was the driving force, right? Now, as I said, I was a little bit doubtful. About the jump, right? The jump was, am I ready? Am I ready? Do I feel like I'm in a position where I am able to coach people? And of course, we're immigrants still. So even being immigrants, like we're confident people, but we still feel a little bit intimidated every now and again. And that's just the truth. So am I ready to coach Canadians about good job etiquette, about how to succeed, about how to do the job properly. I was a little bit intimidated at first, and the longer I'm doing this job is the more I see that, yo, it's like my make for this. And that's can tell you. You don't know. If you don't jump, you don't know if you can fly. Now the other thing, guys, was leaving the previous bank was a big decision for me, because remember now, this bank has given me the platform I needed to succeed, right? The platform I needed to become a permanent resident, the platform I need to grow my career. And it all started by just that first interview, them taking a chance on a newcomer to Canada who has barely been here 3 months, no banking experience in Canada, barely have any work experience in Canada, never worked in a bank in his life, did financial work in some financial industry, insurance company, microcredit companies, stuff like that, but has never worked in a bank. And they took a chance because, of course, after the interview went and they saw something, they saw the potential, and they took the chance. So leaving that bank was a big decision, and also coupled with that, the flexibility. And a week before, and then in my resignation, I got an award from that bank. They didn't know that I was leaving at the time, and just even getting an award and being recognized, I started wondering if I'm making the right decision. And but at the end of the day, guys, we have to do what is better for ourselves, and that is how I look at it. So that is how I left from being an international student to being a manager in a bank. Right now, if I can do it, guys, you can do it too. Figure out the system that you're in and navigate it. Right, that would be my suggestion to you. Stop pretend like, say, oh, we're not here for just succeed. We're here to just succeed. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with people who can push you and motivate you and show you so there are other avenues that you can go and can really excel. Stop living a fallacy. Stop feeling the need for live a fallacy. Stop feeling the need to be people pleasers. Please yourself. Let the ambition, let the determination, and your drive fuel it. Alright, guys. Anyways, I feel like this video has been long enough. I'm gonna do another video specifically targeting interviews, practices, to give yourself the best chance to succeed. What am I looking for when I interview a candidate? What are persons looking for when they interview a prospective candidate for a job? I'm gonna do a video specifically for that. Like this video, by the way, if you haven't liked it already, and drop a comment. Let me know if the interview video is something that you guys will be interested in. Let me know, and I promise you I will do it. I will not do it though if I don't get much comments. So just drop some comment and let me know. Alright, guys, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. It really helps us out. And guys, you know what? Share the content. Share. Support a brother. Support a sister. Referring to nuts, of course. Support me. You understand, guys? And we'll continue to do content that hopefully can inspire, motivate, and educate. Yo, I like that. I'm gonna cap that one. Inspire, motivate, and educate. That's what you get here. See you guys in the next video.